8:39, and yeah, it's no wonder soccer people kill each other and suffocate each other against fences when they lose and roll around on the ground faking injuries. And because, boy, soccer people are very sensitive. You say one bad thing about soccer, it's like everybody's like, soccer. It's like, yeah, who does that?
I'm coming after you with the flagpole.
I'm right about soccer people. They act like it's like some kind of personal insult that I make fun of soccer. Lord. Snowflakes. They, in my defense, I tease about soccer because it's fun to tease about it. But it's also fun to watch people like go into
get all bent out of shape over it.
It's fun to watch soccer fans all hit the ground and writhe around, wanting a blue card or whatever it is. When you insult soccer, they drop to the ground and start to roll around and grab their knee. Ow! Stop making fun of soccer! Ow!
Penalty!
Ouch. No, when I was a kid, I was really into soccer. The Stars, and I one time send away to every team in the country. And that was back when we had the Seattle Sounders and the New York Cosmos. And I got stickers and all that. I was a huge fan.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Then what happened? You're just like, yeah, never mind.
No, what happened is I have fun making fun of them, and also back then, I just played it. My daughters are really good soccer players. For whatever reason, the females in my family are great soccer players. Katie was one. Natalie's awesome. Lily's pretty good too. But I played it too. But it's about the public money. That's what it's about. That's all. And I mean, yes, it's true that's
soccer is
I
engagement.
understand that.
Youth League soccer, the MLS, even the World Cup, all of it is completely gay.
That's not a reason to oppose it. Because you really have to say not that there's anything wrong with that. But it's about the public money. So the op-ed from Graham Renz, I'll probably get death threats.
No.
Soccer's what? All right, so let's move on to guns, shall we? And Rod DeBod's with us. Let's just hit him for a second here because he's going to give us because it's Fantasyland City down there in Jefferson City, especially with my pal Stacy Newman, who actually, Rod DeBod, I like her personally. But boy,
Jamie, that's good because she's your state rep, so I'm glad you like her.
Well,
you're her constituent.
She's crazy when it comes to guns, and she doesn't get it. And I'll just give you three different proposals by Representative Stacy Newman. One is it would require a person to store a deadly weapon in a safe or have it unloaded without ammunition in the presence of a child under 17. So I would have to put my guns in a safe or have them unloaded if I have children in the house, which is not going to happen. Even if the law passes, I will declare myself a sanctuary citizen, and that will not be happening. And no one, and what are they going to do? Come into my house and find out what I'm doing? That's not going to happen. Then she has one that would require a person purchasing a firearm from a dealer more than 120 miles from where they live to undergo an evaluation by a physician. Listen to this. If approved by the physician after the purchase of the firearm, the person must watch a video of fatal firearm injuries, visit an emergency trauma center, and visit at least 2 families who have been victims of gun violence, and 2 faith leaders who have officiated the funeral of a minor who was. This is outrageous. And at this point, it just becomes trolling. It just becomes harassment, and you're playing around with the Constitution. And that's the ridiculous thing. And that it's coming out of an elected official is disturbing. A person with an IQ, allegedly, it's very disturbing. Then we have Rod DeBod, this one. And this is the one that it really is getting people, as if those two aren't bad enough. Would require a permit before purchasing a firearm. So you'd have to go to a sheriff to get a permit just to buy a firearm. So what is the fate of these pieces of legislation, my friend?
So every bill you mentioned really has a predetermined fate, and that fate is that there is no pathway for those bills to ever get through the legislature, the House, or the Senate, or get to the governor. And even if there was, and there is not, this governor would veto all three of those bills, and he would probably veto them before they got to his desk. He would probably go down to the chamber with a veto pen. But so this legislation filed by Representative Newman, who is a gun, who is an advocate for gun reform, are statement bills. I don't think Ms. Newman had any intention of getting these bills passed. And as you pointed out, the nature of the bills is really designed, you call it trolling, I call it for her to make points. But these bills have no pathway in terms of this legislature. This legislature has sent so many clear Second Amendment, pro-Second Amendment, strong Second Amendment, uber Second Amendment messages and bills. And in fact, the last time this legislature spoke, it was to, if you remember, it was to override our last governor's veto of legislation that actually pulled back many of the impediments that they felt existed on the Second Amendment. So none of these bills have no pathway, Jamie. They're statement bills. They will not even, from what I'm seeing, with about 7 weeks left in session, they will not even get hearings in committee. But Stacey Newman, as a member of the House of Representatives, has a right to file any bill she wants, and that's what she does. She has been very clear, Jamie, as you know her, that she wants gun restrictions and she wants gun laws to be passed, and it just won't happen. It's just not going to happen. Not in the Missouri legislature,
right?
Not with this governor.
Listen, I understand. I mean, if we poured through Republican bills, we would find ones that seem frivolous, and this leads to a larger question: is all right, if someone knows these bills aren't going anywhere, is this the proper use of not only taxpayer-funded paper and pens, but is this the proper role of a lawmaker to just simply push forth legislation they know is a failure, but they're only doing it either to raise money or to appease whatever group they're representing? And again, Republicans probably, if you look at some legislation they're putting forth, are probably as guilty as Democrats are on it. And I wonder whether or not that's actually a proper conduct for an elected official to be engaging in.
I will tell you, that's not a question I can answer, but I will tell you, and I will agree with you, that it is done. There are thousands of bills that get filed, and of the thousands, only a couple of hundred or less have really any weight pathway through. Look, legislators have by being elected and having a constituency, they have the vested power to file any bill they want, whether it has a shot or not. Usually people file bills that they believe have a chance of getting passed. But in other times, if you remember, like Stacey Newman, who has a passion, and even though it's not shared by a majority of the legislature, she's going to file these bills. And as long as she gets elected to come up to Jeff City, she's probably going to continue to file these bills. She actually runs on this stuff back in her district, and she makes these points. And so I think she will say to you that she has a constituency whose values in these bills that she's reflecting, and she's going to probably always file these kind of bills. But as you pointed out, there are many bills that get filed that most of the time legislators will know these bills aren't going to get through.
Yeah.
But they will say they have a constituency that, even if it's a small one, that wants them to do this, and that is the basis of why they file some of these bills. And some of it's just pure ideological statements that they want to make.
Well, I have to give props to, I don't know whether Stacey Newman likes this guy, but he's Democrat Joshua Peters, who, and this is a bill I can get behind. He wants to establish the 44 caliber Smith & Wesson revolver, which was used to kill Jesse James, as the official state handgun of Missouri. So we have a Democrat wanting to push an official state handgun. That's quite a breakthrough.
No, I mean, Josh Peters is from North City. He kind of does his own thing. He's kind of a free-thinking guy. He's a young guy, too. So, no, I mean, and that's another example. I mean, he probably has a passion about that, and he files a bill. Some of his constituents might not like it, but some of them might. So, as a member of the legislature, you're vested with the authority and the power to file any bill you think that reflects your constituency.
Yeah.
And if people don't like it, the option is to not send you back to Jefferson City or whatever legislative body in which you serve.
All right, buddy. You have some insider talk already lined up, or what's up?
We're getting it lined up right now. It'll be a great show. We're going to feature some new regional leaders from the legislature, people that we've never had on before. that are making their way through the leadership process. So I'm looking forward to presenting some new voices from the region and specifically from the St. Charles area to our listeners.
Well, it's a great show. Insider Talk, Sunday from noon to 1 here on FM News Talk 97.1. Thank you, Rodney Boyd. Appreciate the extra hit here, buddy.
Hey, Jamie, thank you for starting the week and ending the week with me. I appreciate you.
I always love it. Okay, Rodney Boyd.